I've kind of got you resting on my lunch, which is on the dashboard, and then it kind of slipped and dropped you. Sorry, mate. Oh, dropped you again.
It's my favourite time of the week again. It's Burning Questions. It is the most popular racing show in the Southern Hemisphere, and we have multiple sponsors. Hip Pocket Workwear. Have you heard of them, Skeeter, before?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I have a couple of times.
You know, I tell you what we have been remiss in, wearing the apparel. So if everyone could...
Thank you very much.
Apart from you.
He wears it every can't get it back, so I need another one.
He needs another one. Who does he think he is? We know it's the Andy Gath show. Anyway, back to Hip Pocket Workwear. Whether you're celebrating a win or shoveling in the stables, you want your staff to look their very best. And you do that. Josh is confused here. And you do that with uniforms from Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety. They have you covered for clothing, protective equipment, and plenty more. Check out hippocketworkwear.com.au. What were you doing then, Josh? Out of the corner of my eye, I thought the car's stationary, and I thought you were in a crash. I thought somebody had completely cleaned you up. What was happening?
I've kind of got you resting on my lunch, which is on the dashboard, and then it kind of slipped and dropped you. Sorry, mate. Oh, dropped you again. I'm just trying to make you dizzy.
Are you eating arancini balls and you're just resting them on the balls? Like, what's going on?
No, I got a couple of what are they called? Picchettas, I think they're called, like a roast pork roll, but Italian, so they call them picchettas.
Never had a piccetta. I don't know what a piccetta is. I think of myself as a pretty erudite individual, but I've never heard of a piccetta. Have you eaten many picchettas in your life, Andy, or not?
No, not at this stage. I might have ate one, but it might have been called something else.
I don't know what he means by that. But anyway, Andy, they call this the Andy Gath show now. So, and we had to get one planted 3 wide the journey, and it still ran an enormous race last week. So I don't know whether the gods were just playing against you to try and end your streak, but I don't think you really missed with Tango Tara. That was massive last week.
Yeah, no, he did go really good. I think there's a little bit of conspiracy there from Greg Sugars. He's trying to get back on the show after he tipped a winner and trying to get me off. So I'm sure it was all conspiracy, but that's the way it goes. But in good company. I don't think anyone else on here tipped any winners last week either, so I don't feel too bad.
I love that Andy's keeping spreadsheets and that Greg's trying to get him off. Hey, Skeeter, how are you today? You have got the apparel on, so well done.
I do, thanks, Bon. Yes, no, supporting the nice and warm Hip Pocket wear and going really well, thanks.
Now, let's talk about this magnificent race. It's something about Māori Trotters Free For All. That's right, something about Māori Trotters Free For All on Saturday night. Andy, we'll start with you. Are we just doing this on vibe at the moment, or do you feel like there is a genuine pecking order for these mares? I know, having chatted with you briefly on Saturday night at Kilmore, that you've got a huge opinion of I'm Ready Jet.
Yeah, no, she's a great mare. She was a great filly. Now she's a great mare. Again, it all gets down to barrier draws and the way the races run. Even though she won last week, it's better than her 2 performances in defeat, to be honest. Her sectional times at 2 races where she got beaten were just, great. And, she went terrific the other night. So, but again, we've all seen what Kiang Lavana can do. Aldebaran Tessa's on the way up. Obviously, Josh's horse is going well. Aldebaran Crescent. Sleepy's such a good mare as well. There's no Pink Galars there. There's no Monaro Mara there. Red Hot Tooth's won over $500,000. There's just so many good mares at the moment. And, I think it'll just all get down to tempo and luck in draw going forward.
We always love to look into the past and say, with rose-coloured glasses and say, how good was it way back when? But we've never had a better group of trotting mares, have we, than we have right now?
Oh, without a doubt. Again, I'd never seen so many good mares. When I bought Monaro Mara, I thought I'd try my hand and try and get a mare. There's not many good mares around. Now I don't want it. The competition's too strong. But no, the great races going forward, and hopefully they can program a few more too. That we've got to see all these mares race together. At least once a month would be great going forward.
Who's the best?
I'm sticking with I'm Ready Jet.
Joshua, you've said to Josh Duggan, thanks very much for your efforts on Aldebaran Crescent last week. I'll take over, I think, this time around. Are you going to do what he did last week? Wide on the front line, but Aldebaran Tess, many people think she'll lead, but you've got a lot of speed from out wide. Do you think you're going to have a crack?
Yeah, Josh actually jumped off. I gave him the option, and he turned it down. So I it's that really good Aldebaran Crescent. Just have to be a bit wary. I don't use her too much. Against sort of the lower opposition, I think she can afford to really burn out hard from out wide, hand up to something, and still be quick at the end. But just gonna have to be a bit mindful not to gas her too much. And yeah, look, but like back to the best mare. Don't only think I'm Ready Jet's the best mare in Australia. I tend to think she's the best trotter in Australia. There's throw the best boys. No offense to Andy and his entourage, but I like throw the best boys into this race, and just what she did at Ballarat was silly. Not many trotters can do that. Yeah, so out of the whole race, minus my girl Maggie, which I do love dearly, she'd be the one I'd be taking home.
Yeah, I was trying to watch Andy's face during that entire speech from you just to see if he was reacting. He kept pretty solid for most of it. And if you could send through that chat you had with Josh Duggan about him jumping off, that'd be great. If it was just texties or whatever it was, send it through so we know that there was nothing, it was all above board. Skeeter, what are your thoughts? Who's the best of these mares? I mean, it's incredible because we're not even talking about, well, Andy did, but, Sleepy's in the race. Red Hot Tooth, of course, who's a 5 or 6 time Group 1 winner, and she's not really in the top discussion.
Yeah, that's right. We are quite spoiled, aren't we? Having all these trotting mares racing each other regularly. It's super exciting for the trotting gate, and there's so many quality horses there. But I'm with I'm Ready Jet. Her 3 runs this campaign have just all been outstanding. What she did on the weekend, all runs really, but was just phenomenal. And I think it's really, really exciting what she can do moving forward. Kiang Lavana, I don't think she's that far behind her. There's no doubt she's a quality mare as well, and Pink Galahs. But as Andy touched on, you change draws and sometimes it's just becomes impossible for horses to win. I'm Ready Jet probably should have had more wins this preparation, but just with draws and circumstances, she hasn't been able to until the weekend. So look, I'm Ready Jet number 1 for me, but the others aren't all that far behind.
I think it'll be interesting who gets to make the move first out of Kiang Lavana and I'm Ready Jet, because whoever gets up to the breeze first is going to have a big advantage. I do think I'm Ready Jet's the best of them, but we'll find out more. It's a reconnaissance mission on Saturday night again. Question 2 of the Burning Questions, brought to you by the Fresh Connection, who export Australian fresh fruit to more than 35 countries. Headed up by Damien Glengarry, who is the export manager and does a magnificent job. The Fresh Connection specialise in citrus, table grapes, cherries and mangoes. Freshconnection.com.au. Did we ask you about your favourite fruit yet, Josh?
No, haven't asked me. No.
I'm dying to know. I can't even go on with the show until I know what your favourite fruit is. I feel you're a mango man.
Nah, bananas, mate. They're so versatile. Put them in yogurt, banana bread, put them in a smoothie. They're the best.
I love it. Bananas are my favourite. I can tell a story about bananas. Apparently, we don't get the really good bananas anymore. They're a different breed, and they died out. That's not a good question.
We actually also open them upside down. Believe it or not.
Really, we're supposed to open them from the bottom.
From the bottom, correct.
There's so much banana knowledge among this panel. It's incredible. Here's the second question. I'll start with you, Skeeter. Are rising stars like One Too Many and Jilliby Fernando ready to match it with their Group 1 rivals? We're talking about the Bondi lockdowns and the Pat's Beach Storms of this world, but Pat's Beach Storm, it's an enigma. No trial, first up, wasn't as good as we expected last preparation. So what do you make of it all?
Oh, it's a brilliant race, isn't it? And I could make serious winning cases for probably up to 7 horses. I think it's such a good race, but I think they absolutely are. Jilliby Fernando couldn't have been more impressive last time out. It was a great race. He had to work early, then Box of Chocolates came and had a look, and they got running again, and he's just kept stepping up. So look, he is a horse that I think can just keep progressing and keep taking the next step. And One Too Many, we haven't seen a whole heap of him. Josh has driven him before, but his starts for Russell Jack have been really good. And as we know, $13 into 3 once markets open. So I think it's going to be a fantastic race, but I wouldn't be surprised if either of the two won the race, because I think they can take that next step.
Yeah, 13. I don't think I've seen a move like that in 5 minutes for a while. Maybe when they've put something up at 100 to 1, the Vandy's normally, and it comes in 12. They have Monaro Mara at $1.60 in open class race, and they thought it was Majestuoso. But it was a big move, Josh, for one too many. I don't know. This is another reconnaissance mission for me. I can't tell whether the up-and-comers are as good as the established horses, but I tend to rely on the fact that Pat Speedstorm and Bondi Lockdown have been there and done that. So I'm probably leaning their way. What are you doing?
Yeah, my gut feeling with a horse like One Too Many, I really like him. I think you'll see him sort of improve towards the end of the year, but I really think he's a 4-year-old. I think we saw a glimpse of it last year. He's really hitting his straps now. But my gut feeling with him is he'll be the sort of horse that really comes to the top as a few of these stars, say 2- and 3-year-olds, drop off a little bit. I think he'll gradually, keep getting better, but I still think his best is in front of him. But yeah, I think he's just a natural improver. Yeah, just from having him at home and sort of driving him, I think, yeah, he'll improve through the end of the season, through summer. But I think the best will be at 4 for a horse like him.
What do you reckon, Andy? I mean, Pat Speedstorm's very hard to work out. It's the burning questions, and we're supposed to try and work these things out, but some you've really got no IP on. You've got no intel. So I don't think Sal would have him there unless he thought he was ready. I really like Bondi Lockdown. I know he's got tricks. Do you think these up-and-comers are going to match it on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think they can. One Too Many, 2 runs for Russell have been really good. Jilliby Fernando, last start, he beat Home Would You Mind and Bocklets, and they're probably going to go round maybe favourites in a 80 rated race. So it shows how good he is, the quality of horses he can beat. Pat Speedstorm, yeah, it's a tricky one. He raced against older horses and never really went okay, never went poorly, but never probably reached the level that we expected him to. But got the barrier draw, and obviously Bondi Lockdown's had a fair bit of racing, a bit of travelling as well. But there's no doubt that he took no harm from that trip up north. He's going really well. So yeah, it's a tricky race. Hard race to be betting in, but obviously something's going to win it. But it will give us a lot of information going forward before the Derby heats come around.
If there's one of those up-and-comers that can beat the established ones, it is One Too Many?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yep, and the money says so as well. Now, I wrote this question without seeing the prices come up. Has Triple Eight got the early pace to lead, or will he be planted in transit? Well, there's a growing belief, Josh, that everyone might be planted in transit, that maybe Torrid Saint just kicks up and holds the lead. I don't even know where to start. It's a very small, free-for-all, small field, but so many things can happen. Perfect Stride trialled like an absolute demon up at Shepparton. What do you make of this race?
Yeah, tricky one. It'd be a tricky one to drive if you drew out wide. And Glenn's team's going really well. There's a whole lot of confidence in the way the horses are being driven. I was in that trial at Shepparton with Perfect Strides. It was a pretty serious trial, so this may as well be second up run. You can't really say he's first up at the races, but that was run under race conditions at the trials. And he was really impressive. I was driving Scorcher, who's no slouch. And there's a couple of other nice horses in the trial, and he just put meters on us effortlessly. Trying to spit that one out. It'll be interesting. They're funny small fields. Sometimes they're a walk and a sprint. Sometimes there's a couple of brain snaps, and they're a really genuine race. I hope it's the later. It'll be good watching.
Feel free to have a paquetta while we're doing the show if you want. I want your nutritional levels to be high for the entire burning question. So
your aimers are killing me.
I wouldn't even mind getting a look at a paquetta, to be honest. I'm really
you
curious.
Get a photo, J-Bon. I'll send one through.
I hope so. Andy, many of these races, small fields, are walk and dash jobs. I tend to think that'll be the case here, but who knows? Maybe Josh is right. Maybe a couple of brain snaps. The issue is we know that these horses are headed, most of them, towards the Victoria Cup. So with a few of them first up, is it likely to be a pedestrian run race?
Well, it could be pedestrian, especially if Glenn hands up on Torrid Saint. Obviously, it's fast enough to hold the lead if it chooses to. It's got really good gate speed. I tend to think he will hand up, and I think Out to Play will be the first one there. He did get out the gate pretty good in the Ballarat Cup when he led. So, he's probably not a flyer out, but he probably can do enough to hold the ones outside him if they choose to go forward. So, yeah, generally when the small field's not a lot of tempo, but, it's a quality race. But, again, horses trying to push their way into Victoria can't be sitting back and doing nothing either, and I think running 4th and 5th is going to get you into the race. So, it could be a little bit heat on, but I'm sort of mapping it as Out to Play in front with Torrid Saint sitting behind it.
Does that make Out to Play a moral or not?
it's first up. Saying that, it's had 3 trials, so it's from the Emma Stewart sale, so it's going to go to the races. Oh, Clayton, sorry, Em. So it's going to races. Pretty well forward enough, and trial pretty good on Monday night. I thought it hit the line pretty good. So yeah, I think it becomes a 2-horse race if that happens. Torrid Saint's probably the only one that could beat at home.
Andy helping us out there. It's first up, Skeeter, and it's trained by Clayton Tonkin. So some critical information there. What do you think this race is going to be run like? Like, who's going to lead? I just think what I've seen in recent weeks that horses first up, Triple Eight's hard fit, so is Torrid Saint. Do they maybe have a little edge here? But I do concede if Out to Play just finds the front and they walk, it's hard to beat as well. I don't think I'll be playing heavily from a punting perspective.
No, I think I might just watch this one too. But I did think that Torrid Saint probably hands up. We've seen him run some really good races when he's been driven with a sit and comes with that one run. He was looking for gaps on the weekend once again and was really unlucky. So I tend to think that Out to Play is probably the first one there that finds the front. Torrid Saint, Triple Eight, we haven't really seen him show that much gate speed. However, he hasn't really had the draws to use it a stack of times while he's been over here either. But yeah, I still don't think that he has the speed to get across. So I think he's probably the one left in the breeze unless something that we can't foresee happens and someone pushes the button. But yeah, I probably mapped it with Out to Play in front, Triple Eight in the breeze. And then from there, probably looks Out to Play's race. But we do know Torrid Saint is really quick from behind the leader. So it's going to be tactical and another one, just like the whole card, really, that I'm really looking forward to.
I had it in the very recesses of my parietal lobe that they might go forward with Perfect Stride, but had Leroy Sutton on the radio today, and he pretty much said there's less than 0% that will be happening. So minus 14% that they'll go forward with Perfect Stride. So take that out of your thoughts. Question 4, the last of our burning questions, is with thanks to Falvo Fruits, specialists in table grapes, Andy's favourite, since the 1960s, when Andy was born. Correct. So that was correct. It wasn't offensive. It was correct. Michael and Josie Falvo are keeping the tradition going along with Andy Gath, and everyone loves their grapes. Keep an eye out for Falvo Fruits. You'll love them. We'll go to you, Andy, for the final burning question, because you look a little bit burnt yourself. I know we had a couple of nice days. Did you get out and about? Did you do a little bit of sun's out, guns out? Because you've just got a little bit of a reddish hue about you today.
Yeah, no, just been pacemaker for Kate with her running. So yeah, just sort of
on the bike, I bet. On the legs.
I reckon it'd be in the car, Josh, to be honest. Given the circumstances, actually, we'll stuff you off for a second, actually, Andy, while you put some aloe vera on. Josh, given the circumstances, does Sirletic re-engage his early speed? I know you've been very clear about the fact and 100% correct that he goes best when he doesn't do much early, but great to see these high-priced claimers back, and you just wonder, well, I wonder at least, and you'll tell me, do you just get tempted here to go, I might fly across them because if I don't, things could get orcs?
Yeah, similar to Leroy, probably less than 0%, but it is the last race of the night, and who knows what the mood will be doing by then. But no, I can assure you, I'm going to keep driving this horse for his speed. I just have to. He's just too good off a sit. There may be a circumstance in the future where he's in one of these races that's over the mile where he can work to the front. Until that day, and the gate speed's in the locker.
Are you a little bit worried? I mean, you're not here to win this race because I think Sirletic can go and do a Victoria Cup as well, potentially. But are you a little bit worried if you sit back? I know last time a couple of things worked out and he absolutely destroyed Always Fast. But in a race like this, small field, big class discrepancies, you go back, it could be very hard to win.
There is that possibility. And, we saw it Saturday night with Let's Rock, Let's Roll. There comes a point in time where it becomes absolutely impossible to win. Like I clocked him getting home in 26.4 off the track at Kilmore. He went awesome again, but the circumstances, you just can't win. But from a training point of view, the horse pulled up super. He can race again in a fortnight, and they're the sort of horses. They're not tough. You can't go to the well with them and expect them to race good their next start. So you have to just sort of, drive them for their speed. If it works out, it works out. If not, you've got them for next start, and you can probably back them again confidently knowing that they're going to race to their best.
Can you tell us about some of the items in the back seat? There seems to be a few things going on back there. Is it like a an iPad and a handbag? Or look, what have you got going back there?
No, you're looking at a jacket, a cap, and a driving bag.
And a driving bag.
Yeah, funnily enough.
What's the dark green car key thing that I'm looking at?
That's a cat, mate. That's Cody's little cat.
Oh, I thought you said it was a cat for a second. I thought that's a very cool cat.
No cats, mate. Doghouse
green
dog.
as well either. It means you've left the cat in the car too long if it turns green. Hey, Andy.
Now the groceries.
Andy, we now know from Josh, from what he's told us, does it make it almost impossible for him to win? Can Finn Frost maybe cause an upset and beat these seemingly much better horses? Well, and g'day to Laura as well, who I think's joined us. We're extending the panel. Fantastic stuff. Yes, Andy.
Think, Laura?
Obviously, if he leads, and again, might be a race with a lot of tempo, and he's proven that he can break 27 home if left alone. If that's the case, it's going to make it hard for Sirletic. Obviously, always fast is the in the race. So, yeah, always tricky when you have big discrepancies in the classes. But again, it all gets down to tempo and where they are in the running. So, you know, Finn Frost has probably been a little bit of a revelation lately, even though he's owned quite well. So I'm expecting that if you can find the front, you give him something to chase.
If he finds the front and always fast wants it, what happens then?
Won't be getting it.
Well, Finn Frost hasn't lost a race in front, so and I'm not sure if Always Fast has won a race from outside the lead. I'd have to double check that. No, he hasn't. So, you know, you got a horse that hasn't been beaten in a situation and a horse that hasn't won in a situation. I thought that was pretty black and white.
Do you want me to send you two boys out to a breakout room so you can talk about this amongst yourselves, or you know?
No, I'm agreeing with Andy. No, it's good.
No, I know it's a loving. Like I'm saying, get a room. Ask Laura to go out and get some more groceries, and you two can have some fun. Skeeter, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'm going to jump in and agree. I think Finn Frost probably finds his way to the top, and Always Fast probably is the one that has to sit without cover. And if Sirletic can show that speed and be in the same mood as he was last time, I still think he's a massive winning chance, because I think it will be run a little bit more genuine than Finn Frost. He's got it his own way his past couple, so I think Always Fast might put a little bit more pressure on this time. And yeah, we know how quick Sirletic is when he is driven cold. So I still think he's a massive winning chance, because I don't think Finn Frost will get such an easy time of it in front.
I think it actually helps Sirletic. I mean, Finn Frost might not have been beaten in front, but he hasn't faced a horse like Always Fast either. So if Always Fast wants to lay down the law, there's no lead for it. Maybe Sirletic wins regardless. All right, time for the best bets. By the way, I'm going to ask Skeeter first. If you want to ask Laura, Josh, if she's got a best as well.
Best bet for the week, Laura.
So Skeeter, you first of all.
Look, fingers crossed this week. I'm going race 8. Yanni has gotten better and better each run this preparation, and was really good on the weekend. So look, I think Yanni can find the front and take some running down from there.
Josh, just you, or are you having a combined best bet, or how's it working with you and Laura? Has she got one as well or not?
No. I haven't got one from the boss, but no, I think each way punter should have something on Aldebaran Crescent this week. Yeah, she's going super, and I think she's pretty good each way prices.
Just to go back to the earlier question, you said to not blazing forward at the start.
What's that? Sorry, mate.
You pretty much commit to not blazing forward at the start with Aldebaran Crescent earlier.
Her first 50 will be nice. Like her first 50 will be positive, but it won't be a guns ablaze. Trying to cross like she did when she won her MO and handed up to Swiss Miss. It'll be more of a come out really good for 50 and get a spot. I'm
just going to play because, you know, my record is it's not that of a leading form analyst lately, and he's reminding me of that constantly. So I'm going to go Crafty Bart. I think it's a nice, easy kill in race 4 on the card. And welcome to the Andy Gath Show. For those who want to tune in for the last 5 seconds, he's going to give us his best bet right now. Andrew, take it away.
We're just going back to Crafty Bart. I was probably going to hand up to it, but I might leave it posted now if Diamond's in the undone. No,
it'll be 3 points.
I found it very tricky to find one, and I'll probably just stick with Moonlight Drive. I think from the draw, it's probably going to be fence behind the leader. And yeah, I'm going with it. And I've got a roughie. I don't generally only ever tip
I got a
one.
roughie. I got a roughie.
A roughie, and I don't know why. I don't really like the horse, but it just seems to fly at Bendigo, Struth each way. I knew that really well.
Bring me to tears sometimes. Struve. Yeah, right. I mean, if Struve wins, we will. It won't be called Burning Questions anymore. We will call it the Andy Gas Show, rebrand it, and you can do all the live reads, Falvo Fruits, and all the rest of it. Okay, your pocket workwear. Yeah, you ready for it? Thanks, team. It's been terrific again. I'm glad that you've got the groceries. Get stuck into the Paquetas now, Joshua. Skeet, well done, and Andy. Look forward to catching up on Saturday night. And if Struve wins, well, that might be more important than any of your other runners. And also tomorrow, I might get both of you to do some more of those teams interviews. We'll play out for the viewers on Trots Vision. Are you all good to do that?
Yep.
Keep your phones on and also send me a picture of the Paquetas. That's Burning Questions for another week. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we found some winners. We'll be back next week.